It's fantastic. It's
It's so
Fantastic Friday.
fantastic. It is so
I think
fantastic.
it'd probably be better with music. Now, gosh darn it. Why's my audio keep cutting out, my man?
Now you can't hear me again?
Yeah, it keeps happening. This is going to make for an interesting show if I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. Can you not hear me now? Or can you hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
You can hear me. You can hear me now.
I was gonna do my damnedest to read your lips this whole show.
I suck at that, so I'm glad I can still hear you every time you cut out.
Oh man. Well, let's hope that doesn't keep happening the rest of the night. It's Fantastic Friday, everybody. It's Fantastic Friday.
Fantastic, bro.
Not a whole lot to get into tonight. Before we get into our spoiler talk for our weekly shows, I'll just go ahead and get my little review out of the way here. I'll just get it out of my system here.
Get it on out, bro.
Oh, he fucking cut out again. This is gonna keep happening all night. Okay. Well,
it's on you.
So anyways, on Amazon Prime, I was over there watching Invincible, and while I was there, I decided to check out the new show, Them. I understand if you confuse it to be like some sort of a sequel to Us. It's not. It has nothing to do with that movie. But it's pretty dope. It's a story about this black family in the 1960s that moves from North Carolina to California. And once they do, they start dealing with all sorts of craziness. It's really got this 60s, 70s kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, it's gonna come in and out. Sometimes I'll be hearing you, so don't just be saying sneaky shit sometimes.
No, I was just trying to see if.
Oh, and see, he's gone. Just like
I'm trying to see if I can hear myself when you can't hear me.
No, I think it's just me. I told you, it's just my computer that's acting up.
Stream it on your phone so you can hear me.
I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, so this family, they move to California, and once they get there to California, they deal with a lot of stuff. In addition to the racist neighbors and just the conditions of 1960s America, which like is terrifying in and of itself. There's some supernatural stuff going on. Everybody's dealing with some psychological stuff, going a little crazy. It's been a very interesting show, and I watched half of it today. I got this to episode 5, and as I was telling Shep, and other people are going to watch this and be like, you hyped this up way too much, and I'm not going to feel this way about it. But I, for the first time in my life, was so horrified by something I cried. I was just like, I wish I hadn't seen it. I was like, this was just, this was a lot. This was heavy. But yeah, if you're a horror fan, check it out. It's satisfying if you're a horror fan, but be warned, it's rough. There's literally what threw me off was when I was watching the show. Like I'm watching it, and then in the 5th episode, at the beginning of the 5th episode, it comes up with a disclaimer at the beginning, and I was like, "This has not been on any of the other episodes." I'm like, "What the fuck is about to be in this episode?"
And it was bonkers.
And it was bonkers, and it fucked me up. I was like, you know what? I'm actually glad we have the show now because I need a timeout before I take these next 5 episodes on. I feel like if it stays that crazy for the rest of the show, I'm not going to be able to handle it.
All right, it does come up right if I write it.
It's funny because I could hear you up until the time you held that up.
You can't hear me. Okay, cool.
It's bogus. I don't know why this has to happen to me. In the middle of a live show. It's always Fridays, bro. Have you noticed that? It used to be that Mondays we always had problems, but now it's like always Fridays and audio problems. Let me try the headset again. Calling Shep.
Yo.
Calling Shep.
Can you hear me now?
No. I'm not reading you, Shep. Can you hear me? You know, the flaw in your plan with the notebook is that you're not saying anything when you're asking, "Can you hear me?" Like, there's no.
Can you hear me?
Why? How would I know if I can hear you if you're not actually saying anything?
I don't know.
Wait.
Hold on, I got you.
Just gonna.
Here you go. We're doing the old school. We're sending notes to each other because he
You
can't
can
hear
stream
me.
on your phone and hear me. Ah,
Yeah.
ingenuity at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. See, there you go.
And now I can hear him.
And now you can
Now
hear
that we
me.
decided to switch, I can hear him clearly.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if you plugged into your phone and then you can hear me on the stream, then now you probably can't hear me again.
It's going now, but I've got the phone at the ready.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you can always just plug headphones into it and then
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Let's get into this shit.
Let's get into it. Episode 5. Take it away, Shep.
Take it away, Sheppy. It's my time. It's my time. You might not be able to hear me now, but I thought, okay, so we got a little slower episode. Obviously, we knew where it was gonna go with how the last one dropped off with old Johnny Walker, as Chase said he loves to hear him called now.
Hey! It's special guest Chase Bob.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
All right, this is how
That was crazy.
this is how it has to be done. Apparently. Oh my god. Okay.
That was good. That was good though.
Oh my god. Always adapting. Always adapting here at Chase and Shep.
Anyway, though, Johnny Walker, as you like to hear him called now.
Johnny Walker. Yeah.
Where how that ended off with him last week. We knew we was probably going to get into it with some Avengers on this one.
Yeah. And from the jump, we absolutely did.
We did, man. Nice little fight scene there between the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little one. They all got into it. We got to see Falcon do some pretty good shit. I especially loved how they ended off the fucking fight with him by Winter Soldier like swinging him up and Falcon like using his boost with the shield to fucking whop him. I was like, hey, that's pretty dope.
Teamwork making the dream work. I can dig it.
Can't on that. Can't on that.
Yeah.
And then we got to see them split off for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was really about all the action we got in this episode, but that's okay. I was all right with it. Like I really enjoyed this episode, like as a little calm before the storm sort of deal, for sure.
Oh yeah, the stuff with Isaiah, really dope, really impactful, really emotional, really gets you to feel where he's coming from.
Yeah, yeah. It did pose an interesting problem for Sam, because the words he leaves it on is any self-respecting black man wouldn't do it. Well, when he talks to his sister later, and it does kind of sort of become a sort of theme in this episode, I feel like, because he has that nice talk with Bucky later about not caring what other people think and doing what you think is right and not what other people think is right. So that was a weight for sure that Isaiah put on Sam, but I think Sam knows what he's gonna do.
Well, like to me, I don't know if you noticed this, but nice parallel there. I love how this show always does these little parallels back to the older Captain America shit. With Isaiah Bradley especially. He talks about, his guys was caught behind the enemy lines, and his guy said, let's just blow it up, get rid of evidence. They ain't evidence. He went and saved them, and one by one, they all died, and he was in jail. Captain America did that exact same thing in the first Avenger, and he got honors, medals. He was a fucking hero. He got to go to war then. You know what I'm saying? He did to a T that same shit. He broke in to save the U.S. soldiers and Bucky. Yeah. So it's like these parallels they keep throwing is like pretty baller, and it's gonna make next week's episode a lot impactful. Man, I'm glad they saved our new Captain America reveal
for that last, because like I said in my text message to you this morning, I'm about 99.9% sure that what is in that briefcase is the new Cap suit. Because it's either that or new Falcon wings, and I just don't think it's Falcon wings. Because at the end of that fight as well, when Walker rips the wings off, it kind of opens that door for the passing of torches.
Well,
because he leaves the wings with Torres, and he says, "Keep them." And I was like,
he does that, but in the comics, Falcon Cap does have wings still.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they are wings, but they're vibranium wings.
But my thing is, I'm just hyped to see this Wakandan made Cap suit. I'm super. I said 99.9% sure it's the Cap suit. 100% sure it's gonna be rad as fuck.
Vibranium at that too.
I know it's gonna be insane.
I would almost fly. I would almost bet it's gonna be some some Black Panther type shit where he just like bop and it's like a backpack on and he's like bop and he's got wings and he's got.
Actually, I figured that's probably what it'd be too. That's just gonna like materialize this sort of thing.
It's gonna be sick, bro. It's gonna be sick. But just the way
the shield glides, you know what I mean? The shield glides like crazy. And
so character I'd like to bring up. I like the trial with John Walker when he's on trial there and he kind of like loses his shit on them. Very, very good point. That moment was like on point, bro, because like when he goes at him and is like, you made me this. And it's like, yo, they did like to a T. And, very emotional moment. And then we get a new character that popped up, Miss Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld. Pops into the mix, a character that a lot of people are like, well, who the fuck is that? But we should already know because she's in the Black Widow movie.
That's what I've heard. I had to do some reading on the character myself because I was going to text you. I'd already told you too much though. I was trying to hold back because I wanted to be like the cameo was a for sure thing, not necessarily an X-Men thing per se, but I think she's going to be a big character moving forward.
Madame Hydra.
They've already kind of said that. Yeah. I'm sure she becomes Madame Hydra at some point in the MCU. So I am hyped. I'm hyped for that.
I like that actress a lot, and I was when I seen her, that's like the first thing I was thinking. I was like, her and the lady from WandaVision, like getting them two actresses as characters now in the MCU is fucking dope. Yeah, I'm there for that.
I like that. I like it a lot. Yeah, I think she's gonna bring a lot of cool stuff to. And that's what I was saying about this episode is I like that it just planted a lot of seeds planted in this episode, and in very subtle ways. Like the passing of the Falcon wings to Torres. Like again, I can't think of his actual name, but the kid that goes to be Patriot, I say his grandson.
Yeah, he was out.
He kind of had his little moment there as well, like in the street, where he's just like, also kind of is like, hey, yeah, you're a future superhero, like.
No, there were a lot of really feel good moments in this episode. When Bucky sees the kids playing with the shield and stuff, and he gets like a little smirk, and seeing that,
like
Captain
when he flirted with Sam's sister.
Yeah, that was funny too. But it's just like, he gets to see that, Steve Rogers' legacy does live on. I'm interested in all that because it's like, last we seen he was an old man. That doesn't necessarily mean he just disappeared from their timeline.
Right.
So like, what does he think about all this? Because they may, like that's impactful shit.
We do have one more episode left, so there's always that possibility that old Cap will pop his head back in.
And what's up with old Sharon Carter? She's kind of looking.
I was watching my dude
very power broker
on YouTube, and he goes, and meanwhile the power broker, and then did this bit where he's like, they haven't said that yet. She's Sharon Carter. He's like, oh, are we still playing that? Okay, sort of thing. It's like,
yeah obvious. Maybe it's a swerve though. Maybe it's a swerve. It could still be a swerve. We don't know. We, like you said, one episode left on the show. I'm there for it. Zemo Well, and they got Zemo kind of off and setting up that Thunderbolt shit by putting him on the raft.
Yeah, as soon as they said he's going to the raft, I'm like, ha ha, Thunderbolts.
Mhm.
So I'm sure next week, a little post credits, I'm sure we're gonna get some sort of setup of either to the Thunderbolts or something.
A little scroll again. Probably gonna pop up and shape shift out and
Well,
be like,
a lot of
"Oh."
people were saying that was a thing with the character that Julia Louis-Dreyfus is playing. That during Secret Invasion, she was a big character because she turned out to be the first one who was like, "Wait a minute, you're a Skrull." So there's a very big possibility that that could go down as well. So who knows? Who knows, man? Secret Invasion is coming too, which
we're forgetting, like, because they got this whole thing set up for next week with the Flag Smashers definitely taking over the GNC, GRC,
I believe.
GNC is the vitamin place.
They take over the GNC in next week.
The voting place. So old Captain Bucky's gonna show up, but also our boy who looks like he's officially U.S. agent.
Yeah, he finally made that jump because he's still got to go get Lamar's killer, man. You know, he's not going to leave that work undone.
No, and I feel like he's going to intervene and fuck some shit up. But I feel like he might kill that lady.
He might.
Because seeing the old kick guy was somebody
he's back. Fucking Leaper. I forgot he was back in the mix.
I didn't expect to see him again.
This motherfucker just won't go away.
So I feel like he's gonna fuck with, Falcon and them. And that's gonna give old Johnny Walker a chance to give his little.
I think next week, next Friday, it's just gonna be a throwdown. Just a hour long, just throw down.
No, I think so too, man. I'm really, like I said, I'm really here for this show. I think that this is very good storytelling. This is very good writing. I'm sad that it's only one more episode and it's done. I want more, because that's the one thing I kept thinking when they were showing like them working on the boat today. I was like,
yeah,
I was thinking like logistically in my head, when's the next time we're gonna get to see Captain America in anything after this? Because it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, it might be a minute, but that's kind of what's fun about Marvel. Like even when this ends, the story doesn't end. We're just changing perspectives. We're just jumping in with a new character.
Yeah, but I'm a miss.
But I know what you mean. I'm gonna be excited because that's kind of how I felt. I was really happy like when Black Panther came out and Infinity War dropped like a few months after that, because as soon as Black Panther was done, I was like, dude, I can't wait to go back to Wakanda. Like, I can't wait to go back to Wakanda. And the fact that I only had to wait a couple of months to do that was like, I was so stoked about that. So to go into Infinity War and get to go right back to Wakanda was like, I was thrilled. I was thrilled about it. And so I do feel the same way about these characters. I'm like, I want to, and honestly, this show also gives me that Wakanda. I want to go back to Wakanda already. Like they're up to all sorts of stuff. And I just started reading that book, that Black Panther book I have, and it's been enjoyable so far.
It's interesting. I'm sure we might see Bucky pop up in a sequel for Black Panther.
Yeah, I can see
because the ties to this show with it might be alluding to something. She told him you might want to stay away for a while, and that movie ain't coming out for a minute. So by the time that comes out, we might see him trying to come back at the same time. Whatever's going on is going on.
Right.
Him a changed man, a white wolf.
Oh.
But yeah, no, dope, very dope shit.
It was a good one. But so last week, the situation was we got that big ending at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier where John Walker just fucking snapped. And now we have that fantastic image of, him with the blood on the shield and stuff. And it kind of overshadowed last week's episode of Invincible. But this week...
Although I have to say, we're getting into Invincible, but last little Falcon Winter Soldier tip. I like the shot of him at the beginning of this episode when he's like kneeling down in that warehouse. with the shield up. I really like that shot a lot more. I was like, okay,
I was thinking that same thing.
That's a nice shot. I was
because
like,
it reminded me of, because that was a parallel as well, I think, because I recall Chris Evans doing that in one of the movies, because I remembered that was the first thing I thought of this morning when I saw that, and I was like, ooh, I like that, because then the rest of that fight, like that blood on the shield, anytime that the camera was on that image of the blood on the shield, it's just like it really did hit. You felt that. You're like, there shouldn't be blood on the shield, just like Cap.
I really want to watch that show in one go. I can't.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to do that next week.
Yeah. So anyway, Invincible.
Invincible.
It overshadowed Invincible last week for you, but not for me. I was into it last week.
And last week's episode was super dope. You know, it was super dope, but I was just still thinking on, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier. But this week, Falcon and Winter Soldier, they chilled out. They took a step back this week, and that was cool. I enjoyed it. They all needed to regroup. And meanwhile, on Invincible, everything I wanted to happen on Invincible came to a fucking head, pretty much, except for one thing. One thing that I was vocal about, like I'm sitting here by myself, sometimes if a show can like elicit vocal reactions out of me when I'm all by myself, I'll give it props, because it's like I'm sitting here, I'm like, Mark, my man, just tell her already, god damn it. It's the only thing that didn't come from this episode was him finally telling Amber that he's invincible. I'm like, bro, just do it already.
I thought we were gonna get that when his friend got swooped up by the robot. And he was there. I thought he was just gonna like pop over like poof and be like, nah, bro. And they'd all be like, what? And then he'd just like zoot off with them. But we didn't. But his friend knows.
His friend knows. The wife finally called Nolan out for the murders of the Guardians. And I guess the big thing is Mark made a full recovery from his ass whooping from last week.
I'm having a motherfucking hole in his stomach.
Yeah.
It's just fine. But no, this was a great episode. All of them bounced back, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah, everybody bounced back. I was like, as soon as I saw Monster Girl come back, I'm like, Shep's gonna be thrilled. Shep's gonna be happy.
I was really happy about seeing Monster Girl again back. The robot guy looking all creepy all the time, though. He's giving me creepy vibes. I feel like his little subplot of him going to them two, the dude and his clone, bad guys, and they're building like that insides looking guy.
Right.
I feel like he's trying to become human. I feel like that's what his thing is.
I didn't even think about that.
Like he's gonna want that put inside him.
I got you. Like he's making
maybe.
Interesting. Es posible.
Because it seems like he loves Monster Girl.
Yeah.
He's in love with Monster Girl.
I could definitely see that. Yeah, for sure.
It's got this episode's, like I said, it still had some cool points to it. Like you were talking the episode, or the part where they found out, basically the wife went to the tailor, and that's how they find out like he did all this shit and stuff. It's like, damn, here we go.
Yeah, and then just the whole plot line today, I feel like, was just really cool with the whole thing with them at the college campus and all that stuff, and just the way everything unfolded. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
One character I would like to talk on, though, is while all this shit's going on with all these other characters, and at the end of the show when it was kind of like doing the little montage before the credits, and it was peeping in on all of our characters, like everybody was kind of having a shitty day except for Eve, who decided to go off and do her own thing. And I don't know, man, I'm very intrigued by that. Like, I'm intrigued by that plot line, because it's just like I don't know, as far as we saw in this episode, nothing went wrong. So I'm curious to see where her little story's going here. Like, what's gonna be the hitch in the plan? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And but hopefully that could just be, me being cynical. Hopefully nothing happens, and she's just like, yeah, actually, this is what we should be doing as superheroes, and like, I'm with that. I'm totally with that. Like, because it's one of those things that makes you think, like, about other comics and shit. It's like superheroes who have the ability to just create things and like stop things and all this shit, and she literally just went and did all that in like a day. You know what I mean? And it's just like it makes you wonder. Definitely pose some questions, but I dug that storyline a lot this week.
No, I agree. I like that little thing, and she's like, why can't we be doing stuff in between, saving the planet? And it's not like stopping bad guys per se. It's more about actually helping people. You saw her regrow some crops. Stopped an avalanche looking mudslide from people.
Yeah.
So no, I did enjoy that. I there, like you were saying, there were nice characters. I noticed, Rick and Morty guy played 2 characters this episode.
Yeah.
Not 1, but 2. He's very, very. You can always
always tell. You always tell. As soon as he showed up at the beginning of the episode, I was like, "Well, that's Justin Roiland." It's like because he sounds like Rick, but just kind of not like Rick.
Yeah.
He sounds somewhere in between Rick and his character on Solar Opposites.
He sounds like Rick on an Earth where he didn't stop going to college.
Right. He's just a little more sober, I suppose. He was Rick on like a 6, not
Rick C Alpha Beta Zeta.
But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed this one a lot. I believe there's 2 more episodes of this left.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. What you were saying originally, when we looked up. Yeah, because it would go a week after Falcon and Winter Soldier. So heating up. It's heating up. It's interesting to see what's going to happen next week in it. Where they're going to go with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that show a lot. It was a cool little find for sure. Amazon, I feel, has like a lot of hits that just kind of fly under the radar sometimes. You know, I definitely feel this is one of them. So I definitely feel like most people who would enjoy The Boys would probably enjoy something like this.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like they'd probably be deterred just because it's animated. They think it's more for kids, and it's not. It's definitely not. Like if you like The Boys, you will enjoy this. Like it is definitely a unique look on the superhero stuff.
It is. That is a fact. That is a fact, Jack.
Facts.
Facts on facts on facts.
Facts.
Other than that, like Mortal Kombat's coming out soon.
Yeah, we got them next week, bro.
No, yeah, next week. Yeah, in fact.
Next week.
I was watching Inside Number 9, dope show. Trying to get Chase to check it out. I think it would help with our creativity.
Yeah, I plan to. I might get to it tonight. I don't know because all day today, as I've been watching them, I'm like, I can't wait for it to be dark so I can watch this show like when it's dark because it feels like a show that deserves to be watched in the dark. Like I know this whole show would have been way creepier if I was watching it at night. But after that 5th episode, you know what? On second thought, maybe I'll wait for the sun to come back up tomorrow and I'll finish this show out. Because if it's gonna shift gears on the horror like halfway through, like I said, if it kind of goes back to what it was doing, I'll be all right. But if it like starts staying that fucking crazy for the next 5 episodes, I'm gonna need a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
See where I was seeing a lot of people online were like, and that's what made me want to watch the show. Was a lot of people were like, yeah, I didn't think I was gonna care much for it, and you know, I turned it on. Next thing you know, I just binge watched the whole series, and I'm just like, oh shit, like it's really that good. Well, hell, I started it this morning, and I'm already halfway through. I watched 5 episodes today, so it's definitely. Yeah,
I'd say I put on that Inside Number 9 on a whim. It's something I saw on the internet, and I watched like I don't know 4 or 5 last night.
Yeah,
I was trying to find ones that people I had seen recommended, and I kind of watched another one on accident, thinking that was one of them, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't it," but I'm already like halfway into it, and it's interesting the way they bounce around.
Yeah.
And how it is, like they said, it's all takes place in like one specific setting.
Yeah.
Like one scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting the type of stuff they do.
It definitely sounds cool. I definitely get what you're saying about it, like sparking the creativity and stuff. So
well, that and just because you can tell a lot of it is done on a lower budget,
Mhm.
and the way they choose to do, certain shit is more. You think this shit's going one way, and next thing you know, at the end, it's just like boop, boop, the next, and you're like, wait, what? Like, I'm telling you, um, that's why when you're like to talk about it, it's like I can't really get into it. Like
Right. That's how I
after
feel
you
about this show as well. That's
after
why I said we
you
need to do a
watch it,
switcheroo.
we could totally get into this shit and like talk for probably hours on this shit. Tell you the truth, because there's a lot of very interesting
Lot to
bits
unpack.
with. Well, like I said, and if people are watching this and or bored, it's on HBO Max, and I would recommend. It's like I think in the third season, something like that. It's called the Christmas Devil. I think Christmas
Yeah.
Devil, something like that. The Devil of Christmas. That's it. I that one is so interesting. Like I said, it's set up like a 70s made for TV horror movie, but you're like watching like a director's reel of it.
Right. It's like the director's commentary, isn't it? Like, well, yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'll
That one is enough, like, because there's two characters within that are reoccurring on the whole show. But that one was interesting enough that if you watch that, you would get like the entire vibe of it. Like it is like because people were saying it's like a a modern day Twilight Zone type
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
and it really is.
Well, that's what they're planning on doing with this show. It's an anthology show, and every season is going to be a different story. Because the whole thing with this season is it's just this family is in the house for only 10 days. Because it does the like Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing at the beginning of the movie. The opening credit sequence in this was fucking awesome. I dug it. As like an old school horror movie fan, I really liked it a lot. It reminded me of like some like Alfred Hitchcock kind of stuff. But it did the Texas Chainsaw thing where it's like the whatever, or like from 19 whatever to 19 whatever, there's the Great Migration, and it's like the family lived in the house like for 10 days. Like this is what happened over the course of those 10 days. I was like, okay, bet. Let's get into this. Like even the opening credits with like the Amazon logo and the Sony logo and stuff were all like old school vintage. I was like, did they watch Easter Sunday? Did they fucking rip our style? It was actually really interesting coming off of Easter Sunday and seeing that same like style put onto something modern. I was like, I enjoyed it a lot. But I this show was the opposite for me of that show Lovecraft Country. Like when Lovecraft Country first was like being talked about, I was hyped for it. I was like, yeah, that sounds dope. And I ended up not finishing it. I got like 4 or 5 episodes in, and I was like, dude, this is not getting any better. So I dropped out of that show. But whereas this show, I didn't care. I didn't really know nothing about it. But then, I don't know, word got to me. And now that I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, shit, this deserves to be watched. Like, I agree. Like, if you're a horror fan, you should check it out. Like, it's good horror for sure. And I feel like maybe I pitched it to you the wrong way, Shep, but I think you should check it out and not listen to my comparisons. Don't listen to my comparisons, because you might dig it, and I might fuck your whole experience up by telling you the wrong things. So
We'll see. Your boy gets bored over here, so
too many shows, man. Too many shows.
too many shows at the moment. But like like I said, I get bored and I look around, and I'm sure it'll pop up.
Hey, if anybody watching has anything to recommend that they want to hear us talk about, you can always throw it out. We'll always, we'll make time for you.
I'll be there for
depending
you.
on the show. Depending on the show.
I will be there for you.
Not that show.
If it's a movie, preferably do a movie, because we can knock that out
Yeah, we can knock
pretty easily. If it's a TV show, make it a good
maybe.
one.
That's a hard maybe, but
Make it a good one.
Jeffrey Epstein. We watched that show. Or I did anyways. I shouldn't say we. I don't know if you watched that show.
The
But anyways,
documentary? I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, that shit was
Fucked up
crazy.
shit. Fucked up shit. Guy probably did some fucked up shit. I'm sure a lot of them did.
Oh yeah.
Throw them all in jail.
I'm sure of it. But that's our Fantastic Friday. We don't really have anything else tonight. It was just a pretty short-lived one. No other releases. Like we said, next week we got the finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got another episode of Invincible. We got Mortal Kombat. And who knows what else?
Mortal
Kombat. I know one thing's for sure. We got the 420 Bonanza, Chase and Shep's 420 Bonanza happening all day on 420, starting at 4:20 a.m. We're going to be dropping content throughout the day, so keep your eyes peeled for all of that. It's going to be a really great time. Hope to see you all there.
Free content. Free content.
Mortal Kombat, a game or a movie? It's a movie. It comes out next week.
HBO Max.
HBO Max and theaters. I'll be catching it in the IMAX.
HBO Max. Smooches and deuces.